teaching the correct alignment of the text.
Right. That's the we're crickets.
Crickets, they don't want to do it.
Say four words.
These are these new dudes. What are these new Israelites that do?
Hey, you gonna put the link in the chat room?
New Israelites.
Or the,
when I was coming up, you could do what they do. You could do what they do. You could do what they do. You're like, man, oh, phony.
I mean, cause I should know that.
You know he's phony now.
I mean, cause I've been here long enough. He should know how everybody did back in the day. So he should know all that stuff.
You just want to sit down and go over this stuff. You know already. You know you're gonna lose. So before you go in there and be corrected, you're going to avoid the sit down. I don't know. I'm like, okay, man. I mean, I'm not gonna push the issue. I'm gonna run you down and try to.
Right.
I know when we see you again, we know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
When they so they be saying anything, I'm like, just in the same nothing, man. I called you for to sit down and go over the information, and you read it. You didn't care. You didn't want to go over the information. I know you know when they're talking, say nothing.
It might be.
Let me hear.
He might have a couple more rules over there.
So we live here, and we live also on the.
Yeah, but he be on the clubhouse, right?
Yeah, he goes there Wednesday, noon that day.
Okay.
So them guys listening, I don't know who they fooling, bro. I don't think they fooling, bro. Like the most time Christ ain't watching, like it's not being recorded. Like who can they fooling, bro? You know y'all teaching lies.
Well, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't realize it. Maybe he just like
they all know. The little fool you that all know. They went and watched the video. That's the reason why they don't want to come home and deal with it, because they had nothing for the video. They seen the video. They can refute the information in the video. So they don't want to sit down and go over the information. So they're gonna keep talking and they don't want to say they're wrong, teaching lies, and people, or whatever. All right, I ain't gotta run you down nothing like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put you on blast, something like that. All that's unnecessary, man. I leave you. I like to leave you to the most high Christ. That's how I deal with it. I leave you to the most high Christ. Once I understand that you don't really want to deal with the information straight up like you're supposed to, I don't do my part. You know what I'm saying? Because I know. Most I said, let them know, tell them. Right. Reach out to your brother, try to clear it up. I did my part. You don't say force it.
Right. Yeah,
definitely. You choose to deal with it. Give them a choice. If they choose not to, hey, you chose not to deal with it. You chose not to sit down with your brother and go over the information. You stick to the truth. You choose not to do it. These are grown. We're talking about grown men here. These are not children.
I know, right.
I'm not speaking like a child.
Right.
I can't. I respect you as a man.
Right. No, they're talking Kazakh. No, they're talking Kazakh.
Kazakh?
Yeah.
Oh, anybody.
Anybody.
They're talking and when you talk about let's go over the information and they don't want to go over it.
Right.
Hey, I'm leaving it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna treat you like no child, man. Treat you like a man, you know. I expect the same from you in return.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's all they gotta face the most time of the day. End of the day, they gotta face the most time for all of that. Whenever they do it, there's gonna come a day when they have to face the most time.
Yeah, but maybe they're just like, I mean, maybe they just have like a blindness on them. Like they're just like, it's just a blindness on them that they don't really realize what they're doing.
Not them.
Not them? Okay.
But they've been called.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
We can agree on that. Right?
Yeah, we agree on that, definitely.
The scriptures clearly says, make your what?
Election, sure.
When you're calling an election, sure. Yeah, you will not do that part of you?
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, because it's like, you know, I don't want to believe like it just. I mean, it's just like some people that just like. I mean, I know they're out there. I mean, there's false prophets also, whatever. But I just like for some people, like know they're doing wrong and just like really like it's just that's just not the way to be, man. Like I just hope the brothers don't do that.
But most of them are doing it. Most of them are doing it. I'm telling you, when I heard really Hebrew talking about Samson, the spirit told me he know what he's doing is wrong. Because I was gonna go check him.
What do you say about
The
Samson?
spirit said was like, drop it. Drop it.
Okay. What do you say about Samson?
Huh?
What do you say about Samson?
We're talking about Samson. Something was trying to read how Samson like he wasn't a manager or something. He deliberately not reading certain scriptures.
Oh, okay.
Like he reads certain verse, but then he want to read the next verse.
Right. I
got verse down.
Right. I got what
The
you're
next
saying.
verse down will clear it up.
Clear it up. Right. I got what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I see deliberately
doing that. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So the spirit's like, you see, I'm showing you he know what he's doing. He's
Right.
deliberately deceiving his people. There's no need for you to go try to like he's in ignorance.
Right.
Show him he know what he's doing.
Right.
There's no need for that.
Right. It's well thought out what he's doing.
What you said they're deliberately doing it, they're gonna do anything else.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? But now you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
If they in ignorance now, it's your job to not edify you if
Right.
they're in ignorance.
Right.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can push things because what's gonna happen? You're gonna play this kind of mouth game.
Right. Right. Yeah. So we did about the brother yesterday. Do you think he know what he's doing, or you think he's confused?
He's confused.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
very
yeah. I was thinking he was confused.
That's what I told him earlier. I was like, man, he sounds like he just don't know what's up from down, but he's trying. It sounds like he's trying, but
I don't think he's trying.
you don't think
think
because he keep taking what you taught him all of that already. Like you had words with him before.
If somebody's trying, you would see them at least try to back up the information with accurate sources.
Right.
You just spitting out a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
You're talking about read this book and read that book.
Right. If you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I got you. I'm like, dude, they come out so every time we went to the scripture, he said something else. Like, I'm like, dude, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, cutting himself. First he wasn't crucified, and he said he was hung on the cross. Which one is it?
Right, which one is it? Yeah. No, I think what he was trying to say was he was hung on the cross, but before he actually died, he was taken out. That's what he probably was trying to say.
Yeah, so, you see, he was beaten up in
yeah. He said it's a Star Trek.
So I usually start with questions. We got any questions? We always start off with questions. Few questions. No questions going on.
Yeah, brother.
Wait, I was saying, what was your? No, that was something.
No questions going twice. No question is sold. All right, so we're going back to finish this thing with 2Edrads that it's not inspired, but false. When we use the 2Edrads at all. Again, for those that they're gonna might listen later and say, well, hey, I can correct you. That's on you, man.
Oh man. Well, I can do it at closing, right? Okay.
Saying that I can prove 2Edrads inspired or canon, you know what to do. You can reach out. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and brother was saying, let me put the link. I didn't know. That's not the link. But I don't know yet. Don't know what to come on. Okay, so we have the link on the YouTube side. And we'll put the link also on the club deck side. And this is for those that want to come on asking the questions. Okay, or for those that even want to come on and review, that you want to do 2Edrads channel. We are open to correction. By all means, reach out. All right, let's come to the 2Edrads in the Apocrypha. You could come to the 11th chapter. 2Edrads chapter 11, we'll start at verse 1. You want to go do your history first, or you want me to come second? Pull it up. I saw a clip of Zion Lex talking about the last one with that again. I'm like, this guy right here.
And so do you remember when we was talking about the Greece thing? Like where we said ancient Greece was what now today? What is it? You don't remember?
Ancient Greek.
Yeah, because you were saying that you said ancient like well, I mean like Greece is not the same Greece as it is today, like it's a different place. Like the Greece from in the Bible.
The Greeks.
The Greeks, I mean the Greeks. the Greeks.
They relocated us?
Oh, no, I don't gotta go to the Greeks.
Oh, okay.
No, again, he's talking, I mean, I don't know, he's so, knowledgeable in Hebrew. Like, the basics just missing, he just missed the basics, you know what I'm saying? The basic is, the language is cryptographic. He starts off by saying, the oldest is cryptographic Hebrew. Then he goes and saying the next is Paleo, then he goes into this, he said this is this Assyrian square script.
Right.
We see the language is cryptographic, that's where it starts. How you go from cryptographic to a non-cryptographic square script?
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna still call that Hebrew? It's losing one of its main thing that the language teaches you is the picture.
Right.
You lose the picture, what happened? You have no vision of it, no.
You can't lose the picture.
Right.
That's why helping you understand what it is saying. That helps you to understand when you translate those pictures into words, and to help you understand that you're on the right track because it should mirror the picture.
Right.
Okay.
Right? If it doesn't, then you know you're wrong.
Right.
Now he lost the whole picture. He is into a box square script, right? He don't know what else he done lost into the square script.
So he gotta go solely off the numerical
Yeah,
value.
he doesn't, I mean, and he knows the Dead Sea Scrolls has it in where they leave God name in Paleo Hebrew. And everything, you know, it's showing you that, it's showing you that the Paleo Hebrew script is, they consider to be holy, they left God name like that.
Right.
And the rest of it.
Yeah,
into
right.
the square. It's showing you, so how you gonna come and say something bad about it?
Right. So does the square script, whatever we call it, the Assyrian script, does it have a numerical value to it?
It does.
It does, okay.
But it also had to be pronunciation, because after that, you have to add to it vowel pointing.
Right. Which throws
It
everything
didn't start
off.
out that way.
It didn't start out that way, okay.
Do the vowel pointers have numerical value too?
That's you?
Yes, let me do a screen share.
Do the what now?
Do the vowel pointers have, because it's an
No,
addition?
just the square script.
Okay, all right, yeah, because that's what makes it the same.
The vowel pointing is telling you how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So theirs is the same as ours, right? The same 20 what?
Oh, you talking about the minimum American value?
Yeah,
Okay.
it did just lost its picture.
Oh, okay.
And add the valve point.
I just thinking that square script is some, to me, the way the design of the letters are, to me, is like witchcraft.
Sorcery.
'Cause where are those coming from?
Right.
Where are those designs coming from?
Right.
Wow. Anytime you write something, you're trying to convey something. Picture wise as well when you write something. That's what you doing. You know what you do when you write something now?
Right, yeah.
You ain't just writing something down. You writing something down, and it has no kind of connection with you trying to convey.
Right.
That script conveys nothing in its pictographic form, does it?
No.
Boxes.
They didn't even do that.
But that's how a lot of us is winded up getting on it, just like you hear, oh man, he got gray hair.
Huh.
We,
You trying to draw a head, you gonna draw a head.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
If you're gonna try to convey a head, you're not gonna draw a line. Don't you gonna do? What is that? You gonna draw a line and put something on it where you gonna make it like a head.
Right.
Oh, I'm trying to draw a head.
Right.
So that's basic that dialect doesn't see. They think you correct, you know what I'm saying? But you're using the wrong, and then he had the nerve to say that is the original script.
Right, he does.
Yeah, he said that Assyrian script
Is the original.
was on the Ten Commandments.
Right. Yeah. Mhm.
He know that's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So he know that is wrong, because when that guy found that stuff in an Egyptian turquoise mine, when he found that pictographic Hebrew, there is no way it could be the Assyrian script. There's no way.
Yeah.
Is he gonna correct himself?
Well, I mean,
No.
it looks like he's trying to come to Christ now, so it looks like he's open to correction.
I think he was back.
Oh, he did?
I think he knows, man. He just, he's weighing in around as much he trying to push back, and he weighing, what he gonna do? He said enough. He said enough to come to the conclusion that he knows, because he said, I know it's a man of the house of David,
Mhm.
and I know his name has to be Yeshua.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that
If he has all of that, he has a time frame down.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually the same Yeshua that's actually in the New Testament.
What would it be?
I mean, he could say that he's gonna come later.
No, if you gotten that far, you get the timeline down,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, you should.
They're waiting for a man named Yeshua to come in and give now.
Maybe. You never know. And because to them, they think that the New Testament is made up anyway, right? I mean, to not only people.
No.
Right.
So he knows that the real Israelites are black.
Yes.
The real Messiah gotta come where? He gotta be born in Bethlehem.
Right, definitely, yes.
Who lives in Bethlehem today?
Right. Right. Yeah. Not.
How is he gonna be born there if there's nothing but fake people living there?
Okay. That's, yeah, okay. Right.
Wait a minute.
I mean, maybe you could say
The
So just say, talking about the basics is what is be going, these guys, they get too smart for their own self, that the basics missing.
right, I see what you're saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't be saying that they're black and still waiting for them, lose over there.
And please, and plus you still have to come on the house of David, so where's the house of David now? Yeah.
He got to fulfill so much things.
Right.
That's
That's not gonna happen.
Right.
He gotta come riding in there on a donkey.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. Be for real, bro.
Right, right.
Now.
Nowadays,
all the-
you're very right. That dog, right, that's right, definitely, right,
That's
right.
Get serious, man.
Right,
Flying fighter jet.
We're talking about a black man now.
right, right.
I'm looking for Zion Lex. You know it's a black. You're talking about a black man come riding in there on a donkey. That's what it says in Zechariah.
Mhm. Right.
That's not.
If that's what he's waiting for, he's supposed to be this master historian and scholar. You should know that that's not plausible.
We passed those times.
Yeah,
Malachi.
I'm riding on the donkey, you know.
right. Yeah, that's it.
And some people, you know, what I'm saying they claim to be just smart people, and you go there. If I was going, if you go there and point out that small little aspect of him, he's gonna try to leave him. Turn on the whole conversation.
You can't answer it, no,
You're not gonna be able to-
you can't answer that, definitely can't answer that.
Now I gotta go back and evaluate his own teaching and say, well, you know, I was wrong here. But you see, they're not gonna do that because why? They have people that they're paying them money
Right,
to give them information. So now they're gonna say, we're gonna do, I will pay you for false information.
right.
Hmm.
Right.
This is how they trap themselves. We get into this pay me money stuff.
Right.
I ask for no money. Money? I ask for no money.
Right.
It's just free information. I pay for some books to get it, but when I study it, but I'm giving it for free. The payment I want is for the most high Christ. That's what I want to pay you. But that's what Christ and the gospel educates you to do. Christ said, listen, this is what you do. Be smart. He said, listen, you help people out. Don't ask for nothing.
Right,
He says, I'm giving you gain. Don't
Right.
ask for nothing from them.
right,
You said, wait to get it in the resurrection. What he tells you.
Right.
What Christ said, right. Wait to get it in the resurrection. Right. That's what giving you gain.
right, right.
Read the life.
Right.
They want to even more now. Take it.
Right,
And nothing to get.
right,
When the time comes, yeah, I was teaching this. Remember you got this and this and this.
right.
But like they say, no, with no good deed going.
And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Brother Gabar, start the lesson. He's gonna go, I'm turning it over to Gabar to do his presentation, to do his thing. And I'm gonna come back afterwards and kind of go through a couple of scriptures and a couple of chapters actually in Second Ezra, and to show why I say it's not inspired but false. All right, so Brother Gabar.
Actually, let me exit out of this real quick.
You have to talk loud into this microphone.
All right, so this is just gonna give a background overview of Second Esdras. And before we do that, just kind of know this. That the scholarship that's covered in it is gonna be regard to historical findings and the manuscripts. So any private interpretations of any text and everything, all that's gonna be ignored. Okay, because they do try to give their own spin on things and stuff like that. So whatever they talk about with regard to that, that's gonna be ignored. Just gonna try to strictly deal with the dating and the manuscripts and what they have to say about that stuff. Okay. So I mean, this presentation, it is covering all of the apocryphal books, but we're just going to strictly deal with second Ezra. All right, so second Ezra. So now, from the American Bible Society, whenever they have put together their King James Version Bible with the Apocrypha, of course they used the 1611, and then they published theirs in 1962. All right, so this is what they had to say about second Ezra. All right, so of course we got first and second Ezra there, but I'm gonna strictly focus on second Ezra. Okay, so And then I'm gonna read the second paragraph on this one, okay?
Okay.
So it says, this book has come together through a complicated writing process over time. The central section, chapter 3 through 14, detailed the 7 visions and was written in Hebrew or Aramaic, most likely in the 1st century AD. Okay. After it was translated into Greek, the original language text was lost. Next, unknown Christian writers during the 2nd and 3rd century AD created the envelope of an introduction, chapters 1 and 2, and conclusion, chapters 15 and 16. The primary text for 2nd Esdras now only exists in Latin, in the Vulgate, but is positioned after the New Testament in an appendix of works considered vulnerable but not canonical by Roman Catholics. The Hebrew or Aramaic original in all but a fragment of the Greek version, then it says, I'm not sure, 15, chapters 15, verse 7 to 59 have disappeared. Okay, so that's what they documented in 1962 concerning 2nd Esdras.
Okay.
All right. Any questions, thoughts, feedback about what's being said? Okay, so first thing it was written in the 1st century AD. Ezra went alive. They're saying it was
Salaki, I got a question. I'm sorry, I was trying to hit the button. Could you I believe it was in the first paragraph you said the script said that it was what did it call it? It called it something and not something else.
I'm not following you.
I think it was in like the first paragraph.
Yeah, I was reading the 2nd paragraph.
Oh, what? Well, okay, yes. Can you read the part where it said where the script was you said it said it was something, but not inspiration or something like that. I couldn't hear what you had said. Let me see if after written in Hebrew, most likely after the first.
I think somebody says after it was translated into Greek, the original text was lost. I think that's what you're talking about. I think that's what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm trying to, because it never got. I mean, as far as like it getting crossed with the note and everything, like that's not being stated here. So, it's just more so dealing with how it's given a time period of when it was written, which was 1st century AD. That's already letting you know that Ezra didn't write this.
Right.
All right.
Right.
He's not the one that wrote it. Okay. If it's 1st century AD, we talking what during time of Messiah and thereafter,
Right.
like
Right.
that's already suspect. And again, this is just them guessing and speculating on it or whatever. But this is what they had to say about it. All right. So
I found it. It was that last. It's that last pair. It's that last one in the Salakia. I'm sorry. In the Vulgate Bible. What is Vulgate Bible? And the rest of that. With the rest of that sentence where it says Vulgate Bible, it is positioned after the New Testament in appendix of works considered venerable but not canonical.
yeah.
Quranic.
Okay.
That's what I wanted you to explain, right? That part right there. I don't get what that's saying.
So pretty much the version that you read of 2nd Esdras in your Apocrypha comes from the Latin Vulgate. That's where they got the English translation from. So
what is Latin Vulgate?
The Latin Vulgate is the Latin version of the Bible that the Catholic Church used for a considerable period of time, and they actually still use it in some cases.
Okay, okay. So what is the part about the considered venerable? What is venerable and not And that's canonical, which means canon.
Okay, so basically where it says it's positioned after the New Testament. So pretty much in the Latin Vulgate Bible, it comes after the New Testament. That's where they put it at. They didn't put it in the middle of the Bible like how it is with the King James Version. They put it at the end.
Con, okay.
And then when it says in an appendix of works considered venerable but not canonical by Roman Catholics. So they didn't even consider it canon.
Right.
Con.
Even though it's in the Bible, that's why they put it in the back. Because it's basically like a part of the appendix section.
Right.
It's the extra information, basically.
Right.
Con, okay.
Okay. Right. It's a good question.
Well, that's a good question.
Well, Emmanuel, that word mean according to a great deal of respect. Especially because of age, wisdom, or character.
Right.
Con, all praises. Thank you.
Right.
For what?
Just not right. Just not canon. So much like how we would consider Josephus somewhat the same, because we go to it for a lot of history. We have a great deal of respect for it. And so but we don't consider it canon, like, oh, this is scripture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't say that about it, but we do reference it with a great deal of respect. So that's pretty much how they view it. Okay, so next. All right, so now this is coming from the Septuagint. Okay. This is coming from the Septuagint. So now I'm gonna read the second paragraph. All right. So it says the second book of Ezra is not included in this volume, as although it was probably composed in Greek, no Greek version has as yet been found. The book consists of 3 distinct works, and its most important portion, chapter 3 through chapter 14, is known as the Apocalypse of Ezra. It contains 7 visions written probably in Dumination's reign, which is AD 81 to AD 96, first century AD, just like the other source said. And in recent years, the apocalypse has been amplified by the discovery of a lost portion of the Latin translation.
So I have a question. So in the Septuagint, they do include the Apocryphal books?
They have first Ezra in there. The Septuagint does not have second Ezra. At least this version of the Septuagint.
Okay, actually, okay.
All right, which is the Brenton English, Greek English Septuagint.
Okay.
They don't even have it in there.
Right.
And so, because they're telling you, like, look, they say it probably was composed in Greek, but ain't no manuscript for it. It just hasn't been found.
Okay.
It just hasn't been found.
Okay.
So
So by manuscript, you mean like scrolls? There's no scrolls for it?
that's outside of Latin, no. Nothing.
Okay.
All right, so now this is coming from the Oxford on the annotated Bible. So this is coming out on the Oxford, right? So let me go to second Ezra. All right, where it says, so I'm gonna read all of this actually. So it says, name. The book known as Second Ezra is actually a composite work made up of 3 separate writings. Fifth Ezra, which is chapters 1 and 2. Fourth Ezra, which is chapters 3 through 14. And sixth Ezra, which is chapters 15 and 16. Ezra is the Greek form of the name Ezra. All right, canonical status. Second Ezra is considered apocryphal, that is non-canonical but instructive in both the Roman Catholic and Protestant tradition. Wow. Since the Council of Trent, 1546, it has been placed together with First Ezra and the Prayer of Manasseh in an appendix to the Latin Vulgate Bible. Second Ezra is not included in the Septuagint or in any Jewish canon. Authorship. Traditionally, Second Ezra has been considered a writing of the biblical figure Ezra. For modern scholars, however, Ezra is a pseudonym, and all 3 components of Second Ezra are thought to be of unknown authorship. It should be noted that Sixth Ezra, as it stands, is anonymous.
Wow.
Hey, what is Salakia? What is Septuagint?
Septuagint.
No, not Septuagint. That word you said, Ezra is a
Pseudonym,
pseudonym.
pseudonym. What is pseudonym?
fake,
It's a fake name.
pseudo, yeah, fake,
Say
fake, not real.
not real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. So they saying all three of them is
Hey, I've been trying to tell you, man.
Pseudo is fake.
Yes.
So
New going into the name. The pseudo is a fake name.
Fake name.
So second address is not canon, and what else? Book of Judah, and
Well, I'm just dealing with second Ezra right now.
yeah. It say second Ezra and sixth Ezra. Your bummer.
Yeah, so pretty much the way second Ezra is broken down, it's different versions of Ezra that they just put all together as one.
Wow. Okay.
I never heard of those 6 Ezras.
Right,
Well,
so chapter 15 and 16, that's sixth Ezra. Chapters 3 through 14, that's fourth Ezra. Chapters 1 and 2, that's fifth Ezra.
Right.
And they just read and then they arrange it and just put it all together.
Backwards, that is.
So these brothers that's reading that book, do they know?
They're not investigating.
They're not, so
They're not.
it's just waste of time.
And if they are, then they're being really, really disingenuous. If they have investigated and they still go and do it anyway.
Right.
Because second Ezra talks about Azariah and how many tribes they talk about? 10 tribes in that book.
He's probably gonna get into that. All right, date and historical context. All right, it says fourth Ezra, the longest and most complex of the 3 parts of second Ezra, is also the earliest. Written in Hebrew by an anonymous Jew in Israel near the end of the 1st century CE, it sets forth its author's anguished reflections on the destruction of Jerusalem and its temple by the Romans in 70 CE. Sometime in the 2nd century CE, fourth Ezra was translated into Greek and subsequently into many other languages. Although both the original Hebrew text and the Greek translation were lost over time, the book is no less than 8 versions. The book is in no less than 8 versions: Latin, Syriac, like Ethiopic, Georgian, Armenian, 2 independent Arabic versions, and a fragmentary Coptic version. This large number of translations attests to the book's immense popularity in the many Christian churches of the early Middle Ages. Fifth Ezra, a Christian writing of the 2nd or 3rd century CE, is also attributed to Ezra. It was composed in either Greek or Latin. Its place of composition is uncertain. Sixth Ezra is a Christian composition of the 3rd century, probably from Asia Minor. Although sixth Ezra survives in full only in Latin, a 4th century Greek parchment fragment of chapter 15, verse 57 through 59, found at Oxyrhynchus, that's how you say it, Oxyrhynchus, Egypt, indicates that the book was composed in Greek. Sometime before 400 CE, a Latin form of sixth Ezra was appended to the end of fourth Ezra. In turn, a Latin form of fifth Ezra was later added to the end of that composite, probably before 450. Then prior to 800, fifth Ezra was moved to the beginning of the collection, resulting in the form of the book known today.
Wow, that's wow.
Wow. All right, Ethiopia is that's like the Ethiopian language.
All right, so this is what we say about second Ezra. Never we have studied it. So at least,
You have any questions?
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Ethiopia is that's a Ethiopian language.
In the Ethiopian Bible, yeah. The Ethiopian Bible. All right, so just dealing with the second part, we do not believe that second Ezra currently fits the criteria in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. Can you read that real quick, please?
What you say?
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16.
That's Salakia. Where you reading from, Gabar? Are you reading what's up on the screen?
Does the second paragraph, because the
Con.
first paragraph is dealing with first Ezra, but we just dealing with the second
You
paragraph.
said
right
second
now.
Timothy,
Con.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16.
verse 16.
So when we were investigating all the apocrypha, this is the criteria that we use.
Oh, okay, got you,
Brothers there.
Yeah.
Okay, Second Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16. All scriptures is given by the inspiration of God and profitable for doctrine and reprove, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
Is that it? Is
That's
that all on it?
That's
That's
it.
all on it?
Yeah.
All right, read verse 17.
Verse 17. Verse 17, that the man of God may be perfect thoroughly finished, furnished unto all good works.
All right, so again, it's got to be inspired by the Most High God. Okay, so we don't believe that it fits that criteria. It's not included in the Septuagint. There's no Hebrew or Greek manuscripts that have been found. There's nothing to corroborate this translation that we have currently. There's nothing that can go back far enough, at least to the time of our people, whenever they were dealing with the text. That's what we base it off of. Like, all right, when our people were more strictly dealing with the text, can they find something back then? No, can't find anything back then. So, also in chapter 13, verse 40, and the KJV reads that these are the 10 tribes, while the New Revised Standard Version reads these are the 9 tribes. Okay, a small yet significant difference. And then it says also the dating of the supposed lost Hebrew Greek manuscript, 100 AD, puts this writing after the life of the known Ezra in the Holy Bible, meaning second Ezra was not written by him, regardless of his origin. So that's about right there.
All right, well, there you have the background. There you have the background, right? And let me just say this while we in this time frame right here, because we in this pagan holiday.
Right, the new moon supposed to be today too.
Yeah, goes right for this pagan holiday now. So. The brother just read that second Ezra is not inspired by the Most High God. We're dealing with this fake holiday coming up tomorrow, and this dedication thing is in the also in Maccabees. That's not inspired by the Most High God, neither Ezra. If I'm wrong, by all means, show the information of the fact that God told the Maccabees to institute dedication. We need to see. I have to see it says that because I maybe I missed it. I don't see that. Not there. If it's not there, you add it to Torah. So could be that'll be an additional feast to the 7th. That's there. Again, if I'm wrong, by all means, sure. I didn't say it. But he showed me Christ celebrated it. Don't show me that he walked in some Solomon's porch and that's not celebrating Hanukkah. Just get serious. Because that's not what y'all do. If you say you're following Christ, if you read anything down and it says it was dedicated and he walked in Solomon's porch, I need to see you do the same thing. That's not what you do today.
You may walk in Solomon's porch and do what? That's what I want to do.
All it says you walked in Solomon's porch. They claim he celebrating Hanukkah. I'm like, well, y'all don't walk in Solomon's porch. Y'all do a whole bunch of y'all hold a big feast, meal, people gather together. Show that in the gospel right there. That's what he did with his disciples.
You get drunk. They love getting drunk, boy.
I just want to address it because we had dedication time. We dealing with it. Yeah. I'm gonna put the correction. If I'm wrong, be sure to me. Like, you guys are doing. I mean, you gotta acknowledge it's an addition. It's an addition.
Not there, I'm like,
It's an addition to the food.
Okay.
You can't show me Christ did it. And you
What is
can't,
it,
I don't need to.
Again, when you walk in Solomon's
It's
porch.
about dedication.
Huh?
But you talking about dedication?
What's that scripture that he?
St. John chapter 10,
Chapter
verse
10,
23.
verse 22. Yeah.
So the Heineken even made up.
The Hanukkah.
Heineken even made up.
The Hanukkah. Here.
Hanukkah.
Or just say feast of dedication.
You talking about that nine candle.
Back in Maccabee time, it was 8. I was there. One of them was called the servant.
Okay,
One of them was called the servant. That's one that you lit each one with day by day.
okay. Oh, okay, I got you.
It's right.
But it's supposed to be 8
It's
now.
called a shamash.
So
Okay.
that 8 is meaning like continuous, like, 7-day week.
No, it's 7, but they had a one called a servant. It's called a shamash. We call it servant.
Okay.
It's the one that you use for like the other 7.
Oh, okay, got you.
That's what the 8th one was there for. Like the other
That's
7.
7.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. It was part of the 7. It was one that was used for like.
So what's the 9? How did they get to 9?
I don't know that.
So
Servant. Shamash means servant, but in the Hebrew, shemesh, it means the son.
Okay.
Right. That's why you have in Malachi. He's the son of righteousness.
Mhm.
Shall come with healing in his wing. They have Shemash son, but it isn't supposed to be that. It's supposed to be Shamash servant. Of righteousness shall come with healing in his wing. Not issue in.
Right.
Call that St. John scripture out again?
St. John chapter 10, verse 22. That you have to go to show again how that Sheba is off.
Right, yeah,
That's
that's a good example. That's a good example of that.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's good. Yeah, wow.
Were you gonna read that with your bond?
He said, chapter 10, verse 22.
22, yeah. I mean, I got it. Everybody there, you read it now.
Yeah.
Okay, St. John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedications, and it was winter.
Go ahead.
And Jesus walked into the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly.
Well, we just stop right there. We got, he went to the temple, and the Jews came around him. Usually when he goes to the temple, he's going there to teach.
Right.
That's what he's going there for.
Right.
He wasn't going there celebrating dedication. If he was, please show it. I'm saying you have people that they hear the video and they always say, "Oh, this brother right here off, man. I can do it." By all means, reach out and just let's see.
Right.
But they never do. They say all this stuff behind you when they hear it, but they don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They don't
right.
reach out and say something.
Right.
All right, brother, off. Man, you turn the video off, man. Who you talking about right here?
Mhm.
No, don't turn your video off. You got the truth, right? By all means, bring it forward.
Mhm.
You have the truth. Don't hide it. Don't keep it to yourself. You're supposed to be spreading it.
Right, definitely, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let your light shine.
Ain't enough of that, man. Bring it out.
And then we up for a correction. Certain people ain't even enough for that.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Don't be waiting for long.
All right, let's go to the second Israel.
Okay.
Let's get into the text.
The second,
You just got the historical stuff on it.
Okay.
That is not true. You get into the textual stuff now and show that it doesn't line up either. Second Ezra chapter 11. Start at verse 1. Don't forget, we also had a part 1 to this too. This is part 2. So you put it.
I'll take this.
I'll check out part 1. Some good stuff in part 1 as well. Go ahead.
Okay, second Ezra chapter 11 from the top. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathers, wings, with 3 heads. And I
The
saw
eagle came up out of the sea. It had 12 feathers and 3 heads. Is that what it is?
Con.
Yeah, it did say that,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be clear, I'm not reading it wrong. 12 feathers. 12 feathered wings. He did it.
Right.
And he had 3 heads.
So it had 12 wings and 3 heads, 12 feather wings.
Cut.
Right.
Go ahead.
In other words, it's 12 wings with feathers.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Verse 2. And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth, and all the wind of the air blew on her, and were gathered together.
Go ahead.
And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other, what is that, contrary
Yeah.
feathers,
Mhm.
and they became little feathers and small.
Other feathers grew, our contrary feathers.
What's a contrary feather? Right.
Uh,
What would a contrary feather be?
opposition. Opposing,
On the contrary.
right? Contrary feathers, and they became little feathers. And small. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But her heads were at rest. And I'm sorry, the head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue.
Go ahead.
Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and rained upon earth and over them that dwelt therein.
Uh-huh.
And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her, no, not one creature upon earth.
Right, that sounds like a one world order.
Yeah, that's what that's on.
No one speaking. When has that ever happened?
Anti,
When has that ever happened?
I know,
That never happened.
never.
That ain't never gonna happen.
Not under the sun.
There is no kingdom that was ruling that there wasn't someone that spoke against it.
Right.
Has that happened?
Everybody can
Right.
talk.
No one spoke against it. No,
Right.
nobody. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And I beheld, and lo, the eagle rose upon her talon and spake to her feathers, saying, watch not all at once, sleep everyone in his own place, and watch by course.
Go ahead.
But let the heads be preserved for the last. And I behold, and lo, I beheld, and lo, the voice went not out of her heads, but from the midst of her body.
So the mouth wasn't moving.
Moving, right. The voice came out somewhere else.
Came out the chest.
Right.
Go ahead.
11.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Sound like Roger.
Right, yeah. People that be having like, they're like, and I be smoking too much, we having that little stuff like. Right, right. Yeah, right.
Oh,
No, because the Batman movie that Ben had, he was speaking into some type of voice thing to make his voice
Oh, to make a
sound
voice different.
different. So
Go ahead, brother.
11. And I numbered her contrary feathers, and behold, there were 8 of them. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose 1 feather and reigned over all the earth.
One feather. Wow.
Right.
Over all the earth.
Go
not
ahead.
the wing, just a feather.
Feather,
from
right,
that wing.
right.
Wow.
But, can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
This is making me think like of the feathers that's on the dollar bill. It's 12 of them.
What are we talking about?
No, when you count the feather, I don't know why it's 12 or none of that, but the feathers on the dollar is the 12 feathers on there.
I thought it was 13.
I know it's 13 too,
Yeah,
yeah.
13.
It's 13.
Okay, then I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Good kid. All right, verse 13. And so it was that when it rained, the end of it came, and the place thereof apparent no more, so that
Appeared.
appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time.
So that one rained and then that fell and another one stood up and that one rained for a great time. Again, if this is historical, you try to find this in history, you won't find this in history.
Right, not at all.
This is not in history.
Not at all.
Right? So you would have to say, well, then this would have to be our future.
Right. Right. You have
We don't read
to.
our future. This is not even our, this is not, we don't know about our
Hey,
future.
Salakia, can y'all speak up?
Can you hear us now, bro? Can you turn it up?
Con, I can hear you.
Turn it up
It's a little bit. Come on, it's a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Go ahead, brother. Okay.
Okay, verse 14. And it happened that when it rained, the end of it came also like as the first, so that it appeared no more.
Go ahead.
Then came there a voice unto it and said, Hear thou that hast borne rule over the earth so long, this I say unto thee before thou beginnest to appear no more. There shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto the half thereof. Then arose the third and reigned as the other before, and appeared no more also. So when it, I'm sorry, let me start that. So when it with all the residue on after another, one after another, as that every one reigned, and then appeared no more. Then I beheld, and lo, in process of time, the feathers that followed stood up upon the right side, and that they might rule also, and some of them ruled, but within a while they appeared no more. For some of them were set up, but ruled not.
All right. I want to read all this nonsense. You get the interpretation.
Okay.
Right. You know, we're gonna be here all day. Jump down to verse 36.
Second Ezra, verse 36. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
So this is the reign of the four beasts, right? Is this the fourth beast, right? Now, I want to pause right there. We're gonna come back. Jump down to chapter 12. And when you read verse 11.
Chapter 12, verse 11. But it was not
Chapter 12, verse 11. Yeah, chapter 12, verse 11.
chapter 12, verse 11.
It's 12. So.
Verse 11.
Yeah, you know.
The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
No more clear
Oh,
information.
here we go.
We clear.
Here we go. All right.
Let's get there.
There we go.
Chapter 7.
All right, there we go.
Get down your chapter 7. All right, there's 4 beats there. Now it says right here, the thing we just read, where that was the last one that was left.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Daniel chapter 7. First was like a lion and the eagle and the moon, and the that one.
No, sir. Daniel chapter 7. Verse 7.
Verse 7, okay. Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 7. After this, I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth
This
beast.
is the 4th beast they're supposed to be referencing.
Right.
So we're fake Ezra is saying it's an eagle.
Right.
Go ahead.
Dreadful and terrible and strong, and it seized me, and it had great iron teeth,
You gotta have what?
great iron teeth.
And then don't say this eagle had any great iron teeth.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
His mouth didn't even move.
It devoured and break in pieces and stumped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
You had what?
10 horns.
Eagle, they don't have no horns.
You got wings.
Feathers.
12 feathered wings and 3 heads.
And 8 contrary wings.
And contrary.
Somebody said voice.
He was talking on his chest.
That sound like that,
Chest.
that sound like that, what you call it, monster. Ghidorah. King Ghidorah, Ghidra, whatever that damn thing, with 3 heads.
Thinking of a dragon now.
Go ahead.
Verse
8.
8. I considered the horns and beheld,
Behold.
behold, there came up amongst them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things.
So completely, this is clearly different.
Yes, it's definitely different.
This is different. This is not talking about the same beast.
Right.
Second head were completely off. Completely
Wow.
off.
Mm-mm.
And the mouth speak greatly.
That beast, though, none of the head's mouth speak to his chest.
Right, right. Right.
Wow.
Wow, it doesn't line up at all.
And they said that was the last of the beast.
Right.
Can we jump down in Daniel chapter 7? Can you jump down in verse 11 and 12, your Bible?
Verse 11 and 12. Daniel's chapter 7, verse 11 and 12. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
Go ahead.
And concerning
Concerning.
the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonging for a season and time.
Okay, so the other beast was still around. Second Ezra is saying that he's the last of the beast. Meaning the rest of the one before him was gone. But this verse simply said that when this 4th beast is destroyed, those other beasts were still around. Their lives were prolonged. We just read it, what it said.
Right.
That means all of these beasts have to be at the same time on the earth. The last one was destroyed, and the last 3 lives were prolonged for a time.
Right,
That's the only way we make anything.
yeah. That's the only way we can do it.
So second Ezra, that beast can't be the last one of all. It can't be the last one. But they all on the earth at the same time according to that verse.
Mhm.
And this is why these 4 beasts cannot be the Babylonian, can't be the Persian and Medes, can't be the Greeks, and you can't be the Romans. Because they all did not rule the earth at the same time.
Okay.
And even if you want to try to say that they could have, their lives were not prolonged. When the Persian and Mede came on the scene, the Babylonians faded away.
Mhm.
Check me, fact check me if you think I'm lying. When the Greeks came on the scene, the Persian and Mede faded away. When the Romans came on the scene, the Greeks faded away.
Yeah, they got certain
Right.
the Romans.
Right.
Wow.
Their lives wasn't prolonged. This verse right here says another 3 verses, lives were prolonged.
Mhm.
You would have to see the Babylonians ruling along with the Persian and Mede to some capacity, smaller maybe, but they will still be some kind of capacity in the lives were prolonged. History don't bear that out to be fact. No kingdom won a rival. Especially if I just usurped you, I can't have you lingering around.
Right, no, you can't.
Cause you might come back and take over again. So I gotta stomp you out.
Right.
That's revenge.
I gotta and when you read about there those 2 empires when they came, he said that Ram came and he stomped out that other one, he stomped him out of there. He didn't leave him, son. He stomped him all the way down, he had no power at all.
That's good.
Let's go back to second Israel. I'm gonna do show. Those advocates of second Israel. I'm going light. I want to be clear. I'm just going light. If I'd have read more of that eagle, it'd have been worse. I didn't want to be all of it. Let's go back to second Ezra, chapter 11. And just start, get verse 39 again, so we can get back what we was before. Second Ezra, chapter 11, verse 39.
Second Ezra, chapter 11, verse 39. Art not thou it that remaineth of the 4 beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
Right, go ahead.
And the 4th came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
Okay, now let's read. That's all I want. That's all I want from that. Jump down to verse, chapter 12.
Okay.
Chapter 12. And let's pick it up at verse 9.
Second Ezra chapter 12, verse 9. For thou hast judged me worthy to shew me the last times.
So this is supposed to be the last time, our time. Go ahead.
10. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Go ahead.
But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee.
So the person that's writing this, he knows about Daniel. He knows that 4th beast was not expounded on in depth.
Right.
He's using opportunity to try to make something up.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly what he's doing.
No. The brothers go to this and try to say this is supposed to be America.
They were teaching that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The eagle. Right.
The eagle, because America's symbol is.
Right. The eagle.
Yeah, that was teaching that when I was coming up.
Yeah, I've heard that before. You know,
But again, I mean, you don't know no better.
Right.
You believe it, but
Right.
what we just read about it having 3 heads
Right.
and
Yeah.
12 feathers, does that fit America?
No, not at all.
And speaking out of his chest.
Right. And 8 contrary feathers.
Right.
And 1 feather ruined the whole earth.
Could be the whole one.
Right.
That never happened with it.
That never happened, no, not at all.
Mayor could be speaking from the side of his neck.
Right, got faulty leaders and all kind of stuff.
They pray on your ignorance of the text, man. So they say stuff.
Okay.
They think it, you know.
Wow, this is some good stuff right here.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. Behold, the days will come that there shall raise up a kingdom upon earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it.
Go ahead.
In the same shall 12 kings reign, one after another. Thereof the second shall begin to reign, where shall have more time than any of the 12. And this do the 12 wings signify which thou sawest.
So the 12 wings were 12 kings. Which we know America had no king.
Right.
But you have the advocates. The advocates going to stretch things. They're going to say, "Come on, ox. You gotta get in the spirit, ox."
In the spirit.
12 kings, 12 presidents, ox. 12 presidents.
You slow?
They were all black. I was coming up, man. They try anything to try to twist something together. They put on your ignorance of things. You know, that's just the first 12, man. It ain't fucking 12, but that's just the first 12. Yeah, that's what he's talking about, bro.
It's 12 for every tribe.
Yeah, and the 3 heads, man. The 3, that was America, and that's France. And one of the same region.
Who are the contrary wings though? That's all I know.
For the wins of the enemy.
That's gotta be great.
Right. Russia, USSR. I got you. Wow. You got answer for everything, huh?
Man, I'm down on something that came. That's how they would twist stuff all up, man. And again, you just come out the world. You sound like, man, that's deep.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
You go repeat it like it's true.
Right.
All right, we're gonna jump down.
Okay.
Verse 31.
Verse 31. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard. This is the anointed which the highest hath kept for them and for the wicked, for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty.
Who is that?
We shall reprove them.
Yes, the Howard Shaw. Yeah.
So I wish I didn't come to America and I bring them.
Well,
What did it say? It said this is the anointed. Who's the anointed? What is Christ? Right? He's gonna come and upbraid them with the cruelty. Go ahead.
33. For he shall set them before him alive in judgment and shall rebuke them and correct them.
right.
Is that what he gonna do when he comes? Go ahead.
For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy those that have been preserved upon my borders, and he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning.
All right. all completely false.
Yeah.
Christ is here, he's gathering in them, the people in America. But the judgment day ain't came yet. He's
Right.
Preserve the one of Israel who upon his borders. We're not in the land.
Right,
It's birth abroad,
right.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Every four corners.
You can clearly see that the person writing is, he doesn't have all the information together. Something's wrong. He obviously considered it the birth of our brothers, something off or something. Something's wrong if they're not Israelites or something like that. This is what he's doing. But this line is supposed to be Christ. You should know this is. Again, I'm waiting for those that trying to refute this, trying to say that it's not, that this doesn't make no sense at all. Again, I don't want to go hard on them, I'm gonna go light. Okay. Let's jump on down to the next chapter, 13th chapter. Start at verse 1.
Done. Second Ezra, chapter 13, from the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
So the stuff in his mouth, people burned when they heard his voice. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Go ahead.
But
This man comes out of the sea. All right. Go ahead.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was given and graven, and I could not.
Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Go ahead.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitudes that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
So he had no weapons, nothing at all in his hand, nothing. Go ahead.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest.
Isn't it all out of the same place?
Yeah.
Fire out his mouth. Right? Is that what it said?
Mm-hmm.
All out of the same place.
Right. Flames out of his lips,
Lips are the same as his mouth.
and out of his tongue came sparks.
And it's tempted. Go ahead.
11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitudes which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust, a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Go ahead.
Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and what is that? awaked and
Awake.
said,
All right, we'll stop right there. Okay. It's an interpretation. Dude. Foolishness. Okay. You gotta really think this stuff actually really is prophetic. Jump down to verse we want to start with this nonsense.
And where'd he come with these stories from? You just mixed up book.
Imagination. Verse 21.
Come. 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 21. The interpretation of the vision shall I shew thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the pearl in the time hath kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty. Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
Then it all left behind. Yeah, we got that's contrary to the scriptures already. Go ahead.
25. This is the meaning of the vision, whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom God the highest hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind.
So God himself going to deliver the creature by himself and deliver them that are left out. Right? Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came out, subdued him. This is the interpretation. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, and one people against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
This is what they're waiting for. They, it's coming out here to talk about these race wars. I mean, race wars in this country. This is what they're waiting for.
This is where the race wars come from.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
32. And then time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I shew thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest a man ascending.
We're still talking about how much Yahushua. Then it's going to be declared. Go ahead.
33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and in innumerable multitudes shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
So with this race wars, Christ comes, start talking. They're gonna stop fighting each other and turn around and fight him. The Bible says it's gonna happen. Is that what it says? Is that what it says is gonna happen?
It sounds pretty ignorant too.
Do I gotta pull that for these guys? What? Why I even gotta show this stuff, man? We gotta show it. let's get Matthew 24. We endeavor to prove all things. That's what it's. You have to even do this. You don't have to do it. Matthew 24, start at verse 27.
I'll take this one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Matthew 24, verse 27.
Mhm.
Matthew, chapter 24, verse 37.
27.
Okay, verse 27,
Yeah.
and it reads, for as the lightning cometh out of the east, the shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So now we know how he's gonna come.
Right.
And that lightning shoot across like that. Go ahead.
28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together.
Go ahead.
Immediately
Mhm.
after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the power of the heaven shall be shaken.
Go ahead.
30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
So we don't get none of that from second Ezra. None of that. Go ahead.
31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Don't stop right there. So Ezra is saying what? Ezra is saying that Christ's supposed to be the one that's gonna go do this stuff. But Christ said, no, the angels are gonna be the one that's gonna gather the elect from the four corners of heaven. Is there any angels mentioned doing anything? in
No,
Ezra?
no.
None of that. They're not mentioned. How does he miss it? I could read more, but we don't have to. Again, I'm trying to go live.
And they say right here, the four winds, like that's four corners,
Huh.
making it flat.
But you know, those that advocate a globe will say, nah, I don't need that. They actually think when you talk about four corners, they'll tell you a corner is up. This is what they'll tell you. That's north, south, east, and west, brother.
North. North corner.
Like you stay on the stop. Stop talking, man. Doesn't want to hear you symbolize it like that. Okay?
That's crazy, yo. That's crazy.
Ain't no one hear you symbolize it like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, in the right mind, talks about our corner is up.
North corner is up, okay. It's in the sky, huh?
I'm looking at the corner side pocket. Are they corner side pocket is up? Let's go back to second Ezra, man. They want to live on the ball. That's just what it boils down. They want to live on the ball, right? Which is fantasy. Which is fantasy.
Trained seal.
You what?
So they want to be trained seal.
Cause you can make complete sense of that. When they come up with something that make no sense at all whatsoever. Argue you down with and you make no sense. And that's gravity. That's gravity. I said, brother, if I get a vacuum right now and I want to suck in a feather and a rock, the vacuum would suck both in at the same velocity. I said, you drop a feather in a rock off a building and watch how it falls. If there's gravity, like this vacuum is sucking it in, it should pull both things down at the same velocity, but it doesn't. Explain that.
Rather slow.
They can explain it. I said, where's your gravity at then? There is no force pulling them down. And this vacuum sucking something up. It's a simple test.
Yeah, because it just.
Yeah.
If it was gravity, it would probably wouldn't suck it up or pull it.
It would pull the feather and the rock down at the same velocity.
Yeah.
And the vacuum sucks up the feather and the debris of rock at the same
Then you
velocity.
turn the vacuum off and then the rock and the feather probably come out.
Yeah.
But one will come out faster.
There's no gravity. They how can gravity hold that billions of gallons of water? It will crush you if they could do something like that. You couldn't survive.
Well, and then water would never evaporate because.
He think he can land a plane on something spinning 3,000 miles an hour.
Right, for real.
I said, can you jump on a car that's going 100 miles an hour?
You get hit by that car, you go to the hospital time.
Second Ezra chapter 13, and let's jump down. Well, in fact, let's keep where we left off at. You at verse 35 now, I think you're at?
In verse 5?
35.
Verse
35, I think. Second Ezra chapter 13.
Verse 35.
Yeah, go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse 35. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Sion, and Sion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and built like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
Go ahead.
And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked invention of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
Go ahead.
And shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torment wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire.
Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him,
Here we go.
those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so come they into another land.
So the peaceable multitude that you got is just the 10 tribes. What about the other 2? You left 2 tribes out. You only gathered the 10 tribes. Only the northern kingdom, his son came and gathered. Even though his son comes out of the southern kingdom. He's son of David. He comes out of the southern kingdom. So he comes out of the southern kingdom and leave them alone. Don't mess with them and just go and grab the northern kingdom, so to speak.
Wow.
Even though it is wrong, there was not 10 tribes in the northern kingdom. By the time of Shalmaneser, it was only really 9. When your numbers correct. It was only, I know. Prove that. I know. We're gonna prove it. Let's prove it. Prove that. Let's prove that. Can you come look at First King? I know they're saying it. Prove that. Prove that. First Kings chapter 12. Let me right to the point. So I'm not, again, I'm going light. I don't wanna get real exhausted in this, real detail. I wanna jump in there real quick. This is, I'm really doing this for memory. 1 Kings chapter 12. Go to verse 25. 1 Kings chapter 12, we're going to verse 25. I'm doing this for the background, and then we're gonna get to it. We're gonna read, I want to read down to verse 33. 1 Kings chapter 12, starting at verse 25, we're gonna read down to verse 33.
Okay, I got it. 1 Kings chapter 12, starting verse 25, and it reads, then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and dwelt therein, and went out there and went out from thence and built Penuel.
Now, Jeroboam, is the head of the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. Verse 27. And this people go up to do sacrifices in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem. Then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, unto Rehoboam the king of Judah, and they shall kill him and go again to Rehoboam king of Judah.
Go ahead.
Verse 28. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy God, O Israel, which built that which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Verse 29. And he said, he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan.
Yeah, so he's got coming, he's taking stuff up, telling that now 2 cows brought you out of Egypt. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Right.
Yeah, cow part of the Red Sea too. Yeah, you mad and everything else. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan.
Go ahead.
Verse 31. And he made a house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
So he made a house for that. He made priests of the lowest of the people. What he did, and they were not Levites. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast is in Judah. And he offered upon the altar, and did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he made. And he placed in Bethel the priests of the high places which he had made.
Yeah, so he's trying to mimic the feast that's the Most High feast now. He's making up feasts, right? You're not something what they're doing with these dedication and prayer, making stuff up, adding stuff. Go ahead.
Verse 33. So he offered upon the altar which he made in Bethel, the 15th day of the 8th month, even in the month which he had devised of his own heart, and ordained a feast unto the children of Israel, and he offered upon the altar and burnt incense.
So that was out of his own mind, he came up with that, right?
Right.
Use the 8th month. Right? I want to get 2 Chronicles chapter 11. So we know he had made priests of the lowest people who were not Levites. 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 13 through 17. 2 Chronicles chapter 11. Right? You're gonna get verse.
It says 2 Chronicles chapter 11, you said?
You're gonna get verse 13 down to 17. 2 Chronicles chapter 11, verse 13 down to 17. Right, you got it.
Okay.
Real loud for the microphone.
Second Chronicles, verse 13.
Chapter 11.
Chapter 11, verse 13.
Yep.
Okay, down to 17. Second Chronicles, chapter 11, verse 13. And the priests and the Levites that were all in Israel resorted to him out of all their courts.
So the priests and the Levites that were in Israel, the northern kingdom, they resorted unto him out of the coast. Right? They came down into the southern kingdom. Go ahead.
For the Levites left their suburbs and their possessions and came to Judah
Came to Judah,
and to Jerusalem.
go ahead.
For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from the exceedingly the priest's office unto the Lord.
See that? Jeroboam cast them up from the priest office, and he made the low people, the lowest of the people priests.
Right.
He cast off the Levites and they came down to Judah. So that would mean you would have up there 9 tribes. So the Levites left and went down to Judah and Jerusalem. Now you have 9. Okay? Go ahead.
And he ordained him priests for the high place and for the devils and for the calves which he had made.
Yeah, so they worshiping devils. You ordained priests for the high place and for devils, worshiping devils. Go ahead.
And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts toward seek the Lord, God of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto the Lord, God of their fathers.
So you have for every tribe that was up there, those that were loyal to the Most High, left and came down to the southern kingdom. Tell me that. There wasn't even a full 9 tribes. Every tribe, people loyal to the Most High, left, they came down. Like, man, we ain't missing. You tripping. It went down to the. So now you would have all the 12 tribes represented down in the southern kingdom. And they left. You would have no Judites over there, and you would have no Benjamites over there.
Right.
It was all in the southern kingdom.
Levi's is already done.
And the Levites came down. So you have 3 strong tribes in the southern kingdom: Judah, Benjamin, Levi,
Right.
and sprinkle of the other tribes. Right. Go ahead.
So they strengthened the kingdom of Judah and made Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, strong 3 years. For 3 years they walked in the way of David and Solomon.
Yeah. For 3 years they walked in. After 3 years, and they started going left.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
All right, for real. Got crooked.
Got crooked up. Yeah, couldn't maintain after 3. So we see right there, it couldn't have been by the time you get to Shalmaneser, it couldn't have been taking those 10 tribes. That's taking Ezra saying this is wrong. It would have to be 9. It wouldn't even be a full 9. Again, I'm going like. Let's come back to their pocket. You guys are gonna probably grab one more and call it a day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You already know what? Oh, yeah. Chapter 13.
Let's finish this off right quick. So 2 Edrads chapter 13, now we in verse 41.
Second Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 41.
Come
But they took this counsel among themselves, they had, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So this supposed to be 10 tribes decided after they went into captivity, man, we're gonna leave these heathen and go into a country where ain't never man dwelt before. Man, no man ever dwelt there.
I'm not, how do you know that?
Where's that at?
This is America. They came to America. This is what they
Oh, this is what
thought
they
they came
teach.
to America.
Gotcha.
Which again is a contradiction again.
Cause there was people here. Or
No,
was
so
it?
they thought they were teaching in Solomon days before these times.
Yeah.
Solomon came to America.
On boats.
And got
Right.
rocks and gold and all
Right,
that.
right,
And it was supposed to be people.
right. Yeah, you're right.
All right, go ahead.
42, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land.
Yeah, they say, yeah. They both had come here and kept the law, statutes, and commandments. Which, if that did happen, where's the history of that? Where's the history of that? Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed sign for them and held still the floods that till they were passed over.
They came through the narrow passages. We call it like the Caucasus Passage. We call that area over there.
Is that the Bering Strait?
Yeah, this is the up there area. Come on, none of that make any sense. Go ahead.
For though that country, for through that country, there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ashereth.
America. That's the route that says America. So-called America. What they're saying. What they were teaching at the one west. Go ahead.
Then dwelt they there until a later time,
Ladder.
and now when they shall begin to come.
So now they would dwell there until the time we're in. This is the time we're in. Go ahead.
The highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace.
So now that they're going back, they're gonna go back the way they came. They gotta get back on some boats and sail back over there to their land. We just read when Christ come out of the sky, gonna send the angels to pick them up. You know
Right.
what is it?
Right.
Go ahead.
48. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders.
Wait a minute. Those that are left behind. You gonna left some of them behind? Then they're left behind and found in my borders, but Asaraf is not his border. The border is supposed to be in Israel.
Right, yeah, definitely.
These people here are supposed to be in Asaraf, America. It doesn't make no sense. Go ahead.
49. Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain.
And the last verse.
And then shall he shew them great wonder.
Oh, let's stop there. All right. Make no sense whatsoever.
Wait a minute.
Lines up with nada.
Wow.
Don't line up with the scriptures at all. You don't line up historically.
Wow. That's horrible.
If you had a chance, if we came here in boats and now you got planes, we're gonna fly back.
Wow.
You think I'm gonna get back in a boat?
Right.
Slow boat.
Okay? We gonna get there in a couple of months. All these people,
I don't think that journey would take. To go back over.
all to get everybody back over there.
Years, man.
At least 6 months.
It's gonna be a while, bro.
What?
That ocean is wide.
And you actually like you gotta be, I mean, I don't know how it is now, but like, you know, you don't know what the currents take you somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? You got,
All of that.
yeah, right.
So when the slave trade was going on, so how long it took them to get us from Africa to?
You probably took them a month to cross that ocean, bro. It's been a while. And some of them that go overboard.
Right,
You have to have supplies and they have enough food.
right, yeah, definitely,
You know what I'm saying?
And then, you know, but then you got the slave.
You have to know when to sell. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You have to know when to sell.
Mhm.
You can't sell anytime you want to go jump on in. You can't
Right,
do that.
right.
That's not gonna work. You only end up dead.
Yeah.
And so when the slave was sick, defecating, urinating on themselves,
And throw them over.
they just threw them over,
They became fish food.
Mhm.
shark bait.
Whatever it ate them. But I'm just saying that you couldn't just sell when you want to. You have to pick up the right time to sell.
Even with flying, huh?
People know that when you don't sell down around Mexico on hurricane season.
Right.
They ain't selling at that time. You end up there.
Anywhere in that area.
Anyway, period, you have to really know the terrain.
Yeah, definitely. Mhm.
We jumping on the, come on, man, plane, hey, listen.
We're going all over the sky. We're going over the sky, man. We're
You
like,
get it out.
a couple of hours. For real. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a little boat.
Yeah, planes in every city going to the same place. You know what I mean? Like,
But he said, well, they ain't gonna be no more planes, brother. Price gonna be no more planes. Of course, second injury, somebody gonna be playing on second injury. One more, let's get, chapter 14, we're gonna end it with this one right here. Okay. Second injury, chapter 14.
We ain't done yet with the Bible.
I'll piggyback with him.
What you do, you go there.
No, we read
No,
together.
you can read it right off from here, okay? No, the bars on the outside.
you already read?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're 14. Okay.
Chapter 14, what?
I think I don't know you said it. Oh.
Go ahead, verse 1.
Con.
Checking it, you said chapter 14.
Come.
Okay, now you go ahead.
Okay, second Ezra chapter 14 from the top. And it came to pass upon the third day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me and said, Ezra, Ezra.
Go ahead.
And I said, here I am. Oh, here am I, Lord. And I stood up upon my feet. Then said he unto me, in the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses and talk with him. Then my people served. When my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt and brought him up to the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season.
It must be 40 days and 40 nights. Go ahead.
And told him many wondrous things and shewed him the secret of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide.
And so now he showed him wondrous thing. He showed him the secrets of time, and he showed him the end, supposedly. That's what he's saying. He showed Moses the end, right? And the secrets of time. And then he tell him, declare these and hide these. We find nothing even remotely close to that anywhere in any of the 5 books.
Right.
There's no hint of Moses hiding anything.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. And now I say unto thee, that thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have shewed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations which thou hast heard.
Go ahead.
For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended.
So he's supposed to, Moses is supposed to be taken away. Did that happen?
No,
God.
He died, yeah, buried in.
Was taken up and who died. He didn't do no Enoch. Enoch was taken up.
Or what's the name?
Elijah.
The name of Christ.
Oh, he beaten up?
Yeah.
Who we don't know where his in place is, so he.
Well, we know he died.
Con,
died.
we do know he
got
died.
buried in.
Yeah, but he wasn't taken up. He
He
was
wasn't taken out, no.
Con.
But you know that guy Ray Higgins gonna challenge you on that,
On what?
where these people are buried at.
It don't matter.
I saw a
That's the
video,
challenge. I'm not arguing about the burial place. I'm talking about him being taken up.
Right.
and now because he where he's finding bodies at, and he was talking about, oh, where Jesus at? Oh, he just rose
He took his body with him.
took his body.
Mhm.
But see, he gonna say, yeah, but where he was buried at? Why you couldn't find his body?
We know where he was buried at. He was buried in the garden tomb. We found the garden tomb. He resurrected took his body with him. We know that too.
They found that place?
Of course, they found that place. Why can it be hard to find?
So, but it's like it's guarded, is it guarded off too? Like it's guarded, heavily guarded?
No.
Cause the body is gone.
Yeah, but you know how they,
Why would they heavily guard it for?
no, you know how they guard, they was heavily guarding the site for the Mount Sinai area, right? And couldn't nobody go over in there,
They're not doing that no more.
okay?
Anybody can go over there. There's actually a tour you can go. You can book a tour right now and go over there.
That's okay.
Oh, really? The tour where it was buried?
No, Mount Sinai.
Oh, Mount Sinai, okay. But is that the,
Just close to the garden too.
Oh, okay. but is it the correct Mount Sinai?
Is it what?
Is it the correct Mount Sinai?
Huh.
It is, okay.
Really?
It got that burn, to it.
Has all that. Everything is.
Oh, wow, okay.
I mean, they found Sodom and Gomorrah too. You can
Ramstone.
find that, and, you know, you can look.
They found Noah's Ark.
Right, they found Noah's Ark, yeah, I heard
They
about that.
found Noah's wife's grave
Damn.
on the graveside.
Mhm.
That's how come I tell you that. That's how come I tell you that they were 15, 16 feet tall. Our sarcophagus fits someone who was at least 15 feet tall.
And she was, so that's where these that movie we just saw last week, why they got that from that Avatar.
Could have been some of it. Yeah, could have been.
Could have been,
They
yeah.
found sarcophagus, and the structure in there was for a female, but the person in there was 115 feet tall. And it's because it has female stuff in it, and then it was sarcophagus for a female.
They had like what, perfume and like comb.
Female
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Con.
It was a female sarcophagus that was in there.
Flowers.
And she was in a sarcophagus,
Well, what's a sarcophagus?
like you know the Egyptians that they put over on you.
Oh, like you do like the mummified or something? Or
The mummified, but they put you in this thing. It's a sarcophagus it's like a human form type of thing that they put in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it ain't a box. Like,
Right, but like, yeah, I got it.
Shape of-
Yeah, the shape of person, gotcha.
They call it a sarcophagus.
Okay, got it.
That's what they found. It was 15 feet tall, and then they found an arch stone all over the place. This arch stone is about 10, 11 feet, 12 feet high, with holes in it at the top.
Mhm.
What are those?
Like wheels.
Those are the things you put on the ark to stable it. Because if you on a
Oh,
boat,
yeah, right,
that's
got you.
moving,
Right,
you're gonna need these stones
Stones,
that was
yeah.
all around the ark to keep it stable.
Stable, right.
Because otherwise it would tilt
Tipped
over.
over, right, yeah. Mhm.
That's what they say the arch stones are.
Yeah.
Had to be, and it had holes in them that the rope went around into the middle
Right,
of it
right.
and tied back onto the boat
Right,
and he leveled it.
Right.
You had one coming from the top and the bottom.
bottom, right.
The boat would be doing this.
Yes, right, yeah.
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 Topsy turvy.
Yeah.
You going everywhere.
They'd have died.
Right. Right.
And then they found the boat with 3 materials that zigzagged in there. That the material
They
locked in
They
place.
locked in place, right? Yeah.
And it moved stronger.
They said not one nail was found in there.
It had metal in there.
Mm.
Metal rivets. So they had metal before the flood.
Right.
So we found out. These people just want to lie, bro. They just want to lie, something like that. All right, go ahead.
We at verse 10, right? For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old.
Yeah, the words of law, he's talking about the world, right?
Mhm.
Talking about the age of the earth, the world. Not Israel, I like that, the age of the earth. Against the lost and usually, this is where Sakari is trying to claim this is correct. That claim that the world is 12,000 years. We're about to read it and see, it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. It doesn't fit. Go ahead.
For the world is divided into 12 parts,
12,000 years, according to them.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
and the 10th part of it are gone already, and half of that 10th part.
So 10,000 years are gone.
Right,
Got it.
right.
10,000 years are gone. Right.
Mhm. At this point.
It says, well, when this guy's writing.
Right. That's what
We
I'm
were in the first century.
Right.
Right or wrong.
Right.
So in the first century,
Mhm.
10,000 years are gone, as you read right there, right?
Huh.
10,000 years are gone, and it says, and half of a 10th part. What is half of a 10th part?
Half of a 10th part, be 500 years, right?
It's like 5,000 years.
5,000 years, okay.
Half, because 10 is 10,000.
Con,
Half of
Oh,
10,
half a 10th part, okay.
half of 10 part is 5, right?
con.
But they're gonna say, no, oh, come on. Half of that means 500 years. Listen, I gave you 500 years.
Right.
That's 10,500 years. Right? I'm trying to help them.
Yeah.
So by the first century, 10,500 years has elapsed.
Right.
Where are we at now? Since then, how far since then we have come? We have come at least, well,
12,000.
at least 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000, right, 2,000 years, yeah. Right,
2,000.
right.
Isn't that past the 12,000 years?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
By now, it should have been gone by now.
Yes. And
We're
don't,
at least 500 years old, right? Right?
and don't have to add the 500 to
We
it.
had the 500 years, we at least,
Yeah, we passed.
Doesn't fit.
We passed the
we
time.
passed the time.
In America, we get about 4.
We passed the time already. Doesn't fit. Again, if, now, I'm gonna have some more. That's right.
Okay.
They claim Ezra wrote it. Bro, they gotta back it up to when Ezra lived. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Ezra lived 500 years
Right.
before
Before
this.
this,
Okay.
right. Mhm.
So if I give you that, we should be smack dead
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
12,000 years.
Right. Right.
Smack dead at the 12,000 years, shouldn't we?
Mhm.
At minimum.
Mhm.
They just, oh, come on, Act, we need another 100. All right, man, we get another 100.
Mhm.
Ridiculous foolishness. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part.
Stop. See that? See the cut? That tells you that that's not 500 years. That's what?
All right,
5,000 years. The last part tells you 5,000 years. And what's remain? What remain is that half of the 10th part.
Yeah.
Fine. That makes the whole thing what?
20,000.
20,000 years. And even 12. it's 20,000 years. Oh, man. I think that's what we did. I really do. And I'm going light. I can go to the next chapter and pull some more garbage out of here too as well, man. It's time for me to line up. Sakari, stop it. You want to debate it? We just debate it. Anyone can say that don't make no sense. That's not no 12,000 years.
Mhm.
I know they're gonna be another version. It doesn't matter version you do. Don't fit. Anybody can do a math. Anybody can do a math, bro, and you can see. From Adam to Abraham.
Hey, brother, I'm sorry, what verse did we leave off on?
We left off on verse 12.
Okay, 12.
Anybody can see that from Adam to Abraham 2,000. From Abraham to Christ 2,000. From Christ to us is gonna be another 2,000.
That's six
that'll
thousand.
make it 6,000. But they try to say that how that in the beginning, those 7 days, or 7,000 years.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Cause a day with the Most High. is a 1,000 years.
1,000 years. And 1,000 years.
A day with the Most
That's a day with the Most High.
High.
Did we get it? Genesis chapter 1, let's just spell that right quick, real quick. Yeah, clearly do not know the Bible. I want to read out the Bible. They think God need 1,000 years to make the sun.
Right.
God need 1,000, he needs 1,000 years.
Sun and the moon.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you gotta forget about the moon. You gotta do the moon too. Yeah, sun and the moon. So.
God needs 1,000 years for that. Wow. This is the disrespect.
Con.
The most I say, put some respect on my name down there.
Right, for real. Yahweh.
You know what I'm saying? Put respect on my name. Genesis chapter 1. Let me get verse in fact, I want to get the one with the verse 9. Get verse 9.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 1, starting at verse 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay, go ahead.
This is chapter 1, verse 9.
Go ahead.
To read. And the Most High said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so.
Go ahead.
The 10. And Most High called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he sea, and God saw that it was good.
Go ahead.
And Most High said, let the earth bring forth grass and herb yielding seed, and the fruit trees yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so.
Go ahead.
12. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seeds after his kind, and the trees yielding fruit, whose seeds was in itself after his kind, and Most High saw that it was good.
Go ahead.
13. In the evening and the morning were the third day.
So it takes 1,000 years for all of that to happen, right? Now, we're talking about trees growing. There is no sun. Can trees grow without that?
Yeah.
It takes you 1,000 years for this stuff to grow. And you grow without no light. Point it out, where? I know there's trees that don't need light. But these trees, some of these trees would have to need some sunlight.
I don't know trees like I know there's plants that don't need a light, but I mean, I think trees do.
But not all of, yeah.
I think all trees need light.
Come.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to help them.
Okay.
You see, no, I'm just trying to help them. You just go forward, you just say, you can't say all of them don't need light.
Right.
I'm fine.
Okay.
There is no way all of these trees are growing without water. There is no. He came for 24 hours and now he comes up. That's why right afterwards you would have the sun. God. They came up and the sun gonna do the rest.
Right.
Wow. 1,000 years. Stop it. Y'all need to stop it, bro. We can see trees grows within 100 years.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Full trees grow all the way up in 100 years.
Right. Right.
Ain't no 1,000 years to go tree to grow. I just want to show that part. I just show that.
Okay.
These are literal. And it says when it says the evening and the morning,
Right.
that kills that right there.
Right.
So the question becomes, how long is the evening in 1,000 years?
Right.
Break that down. That's not even in the video. And how long is a morning in 1,000 years?
Right, it's 500, it's half.
Is half?
Yeah, it's 500.
So if the evening is 500,
Right,
then what else?
the morning be 500.
The morning is 500.
Right.
How long is the night? Back your 500 down. That wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's not 250.
4 quarters make a dollar.
3, 3, 3, and 3.
The night is 250.
Right,
The morning is what?
250.
250.
Right.
What's missing?
The afternoon. The afternoon or whatever.
Noon is 250?
Well, the afternoon to the evening part, you know what I'm saying, or the morning to the evening part. But...
You just said the evening was 250.
No, Dave said, oh, it's 250. I said 500.
I know. So we got evening 250,
Right,
night 250, morning 250.
right.
You missing a 250 somewhere.
Right, it's the morning part to the evening part. You're right. I guess you get
That's morning.
That's still in the morning part.
Morning is 6 a.m. to 12 noon.
okay.
Then you have afternoon.
Right. That's the other 250. That's the 250.
Afternoon is basically evening.
Well, I mean,
That will take you into the sundown portion.
right. I mean, you have your 12 noon until 6 p.m. Right,
Right. That's evening.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's 250, you have 3 250. You
No.
missing
I
the
mean, you have So you okay. Let's start with the evening part. So you have what? So you have from
Okay, when does the evening begin? Let's start there.
6 p.m.
That's when it closes. And then you have nighttime at 6 p.m. That's the beginning of your night.
Okay.
So the evening gotta begin after 12, after 12:01. 12:01 is the evening.
Okay. Let's start counting at night. So 6 p.m.
It's 375, 375.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work. Just kidding.
They give you all the night, and all day, and then that little morning time. Transition period is 125.
You know when that would work? Because the night, it doubles. It's longer than the morning. The morning is only 6 hours.
Right,
So is your evening.
right.
But the night is how long? It's 12 hours. You cannot eat, so they cannot equal. Your night cannot equal your evening or your morning.
All right, so then it's
Right.
500.
It's fine. There you go. 525 minutes. And 250 and 250.
75.
6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's 6 hours.
What are we doing here, man?
So the morning, 6 hours, is 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, so 12 p.m.
6 p.m.
After 6 hours. Another 6 hours.
And scripture for any of that.
Is he doing it just for the
Where's the scripture that says any of that your night is 500 years long?
The clubhouse, otherwise,
Making stuff up.
Otherwise, you better.
It does not work.
Just do that for the Shabbat, man, that's it.
Trying to make up time without getting scripture like we know. You
Yeah,
got all
otherwise,
the
you're gonna.
That's when you believe in a false book and try to make it fit. Don't fit.
Here.
It don't fit. Brother, I tell you, I've tried to make this book fit. Don't fit. Nowhere.
Now you're looking for this part,
I had to come to the conclusion, man, what are you doing?
I'm trying that.
You're fighting with something that ain't true, trying to make something true that ain't. I had to stop beating myself up trying to make this book fit.
Display.
Stop beating myself up. Right, because I had to be able to defend it. I just couldn't defend it. There you go. Drop that. Where is it now?
Oh, C30.
I'm gonna leave it there, cause
I mean, you can
I don't
put
wanna.
it wherever belongs to me. I don't need that out here.
What time is it, bro?
It's like 5:19.
Okay, thank you.
It's sundown now.
So when you do that,
So it should be
yeah,
down,
when you go back to go by, just change it like.
Close outside. Close on us, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
so.
man, it's Saturn Alley.
Yeah, I was gonna put the game.
Now go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, let me close this stuff out, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Close out the club deck. And again, thank you guys for listening later on. Leave a comment on the YouTube side.